Talofalava, and welcome back, team. Where, as promised, we are here with Alby from 1Scoop.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So Alby's actually a man of many talents, much like Mana from last week. But in particular, we're going to talk about 1Scoop. But Sam, fire off with with our questions that we normally ask our guests first, and then we'll learn a little bit more about Alby.
So these questions just so listeners can sort of get to know you a bit better. So first question for you would be, what is your favourite food?
I have to say fish and chips.
Really?
Like, that's up there for the brand. Fish and chips, nah. Like any island food,
Yeah.
you know, I'll consume that every day if I could. But fish and chips is up there. Growing up, my favourite food was egg sandwiches.
Yo.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know, you boil the egg, mash it up, put the mayo in. Worst thing though was biting and then crack. You hear that crack? Mum forgot that one little shell, but you couldn't complain.
I would have that at like primary school, and I remember kids would be like, "What's that smell?"
Yeah.
So my egg sandwiches, what?
Yeah, that's it.
Second question: what is the first movie you ever cried to?
Lion King. And when it first came out, Mum took me, so I could just cry on her shoulder, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
What part did you cry?
What was the part you cried?
Everyone knows that. Mufasa dies. Like, he's the best. Like,
And last question: if you were to attend any concert of a past or present artist, what concert would you like to attend?
oh, it has to be Michael Jackson.
Cool.
We had Michael last week.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Michael's just ranking up the tally at the moment.
Yeah.
Especially when we say like past or present.
Yeah. You say the past, then it's got to be Michael. But
You wouldn't want to go and see Restoration? You sure you wouldn't want to go watch the Restoration?
Resurrection?
Uh,
Nah, MJ all the way.
Well, Alby, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you, by the way? Is how we should have started.
That's all.
How
Happy
are
New
you?
Year's, boys. I'm good, thank you. Really appreciate you guys bringing me on, and my boy David.
David's on the camera.
On the
Shout out
camera,
to David.
cameraman. Shout out to David. What better way to spend your school holidays than filming your dad talk about fish and chips? You know, I've been good. Thanks, boys. Good start to the year. Family's healthy. I'm healthy. Just making the most of these holidays.
Good. Well, I guess we should dial it right back. And do you mind telling our listeners just a little bit about yourself? I know like we went to uni together.
Yep.
Just a little bit about your family background. Where you from?
Yep. Born and bred Christchurch. Grew up Aranui. My mum still lives in Aranui. Went to Aranui High School, Aranui Primary School, Chisnawood Intermediate. After that, decided to go to university at an older age. I mean, I was 21 when I first met you guys at uni. Before that, I was building furniture, doing carpentry. But I always had a passion to teach. So fish and chip guy by night, teacher by day. That's the kind of career I'm going for at the moment. But yeah, been teaching for 7 years at Hornby High School. Shout out to Hornby, West. But yeah, that's the journey really. I mean, there's been heaps of other things I've delved into. A little bit of singing, a little bit of this and that. But at the moment, teaching and fish and chip review.
Excellent. And just so that our audience get the reference before Restoration,
Yeah.
tell us a little.
And tell us why you wouldn't want to go and watch.
Did you see some of my moves back in the day? Restoration, that was just a group of boys. We all used to live together, and some of them were really musically talented, so decided to do music together.
Very talented.
Yeah.
You're the lead singer, eh?
Lead backup vocals, decided, to do a few solos, but I was...
So you were the lead and the backup.
Yeah.
Did you back up yourself?
Yes, as we were saying, Alby is a man of like a lot of talents.
Yes.
Jealous of this dude. But so we have you in for one specific reason, and that is one fish, one scoop. I guess. Let's just start off with like, what's it about?
Yeah. Like, if I dial it right back, it goes back to lockdown.
Yeah.
I got into video editing. So, you had heaps of time. What do you do during lockdown? I got students to send me in videos of them doing cool things like singing, TikToks, or art, or whatever. And I put it together like a Hornby High School's Got Talent. And that got me really into like, oh man, I think I really like this creative process of putting videos together, chopping and editing. So I always had that passion start, and then I just started doing a bit more video. And then late last year I thought, gosh, what else could I do around this whole video editing thing? And the whole idea for reviewing fish and chips popped up. I had been watching a few food reviewers from overseas and local. One in particular is a pizza guy in America who reviews pizza every day for the last 8 years.
Oh wow!
And that's great because pizza, they have pizza shops all over the place. And I figured, well, there's fish and chips. Our equivalent is fish and chips. So why don't I just do something like that? But I sat on the idea for months, told a few people, and they thought, do it. But I didn't know how to do it. I mean, I was looking forward to editing it, but I didn't know actually how to film. I didn't want to really be the guy in front of the camera. I wanted to be the guy behind. And then I caught up with your guest last week, Mana. And we had a quick chat. I told him the vision and the idea, and he just said, let's do it. And next day, there's a logo. Day after that, there's a t-shirt. And then a week later, we're reviewing a fish and chip shop. And it just happened. He, the thing he pushed in me, I got to give him heaps of credit for this, is just to do it. Otherwise, it's just going to be an idea that I sit on until someone else does it. So, although I don't really enjoy being the front of the camera, it's taken me a few reviews to get used to it. That's the whole journey. It's just a matter of doing the idea, getting involved, getting my whole family involved. My son and my wife video me, and we all edit and we all post it on Instagram. I've never had an Instagram before. I don't even know how to use it. So this whole journey's taught me how to be a bit more tech savvy. So that's the journey. That's basically why we started. It's just an idea to review fish and chips. That's like one of New Zealand's main meals, or everyone's had fish and chips, no matter what culture or what rich or poor, black or white. Everyone's had fish and chips in New Zealand, or probably. So that's why I do it.
Are we doing New Zealand stores or just Christchurch only?
This week I expanded out a bit. South Canterbury, hit Southbridge. I'll try and go a bit further each time. My wife said hit Christchurch first before I talk about Auckland. But I've had heaps of people hit me up saying, come to Auckland, come to Northland, come to the East Coast. This is where the spots are. So eventually I will. But there's so many. I didn't realise how many shops, fish and chip shops, there were. Like, there's so many fish and chip shops in one suburb, and they're all usually around the same place, same street, or just around the corner. So I've just got to get through Christchurch first.
Walk us through the process. Like, how many shops would you do on an average day?
Max is 4 shops in a day, and I think I felt a bit sick by the end of the day, and I think it was because of the travelling. And it didn't help during this time of the year, the start of the year, because a lot of shops are closed. But on Google it says they're open, but you get to their shop and it says, oh, we're on holiday. So I think it was just the travelling during that day. But I'm just trying to do one a day, and just
one a day.
Trying to post 4 or 5 videos a week. That's the goal. The goal is to try and get to 100 reviews this year. If I keep up with 4 a week, I'll smash that goal.
I was going to say, that's a lot of fish and chips.
Have you actually sat down and calculated how many fish and chip shops? Like, how many are there in Christchurch? Have you got that number?
No, but it's hard because if the old school Yellow Pages was out, it probably could see it. But you Google fish and chip shops in Christchurch, it only shows 20.
Okay.
Yeah, and then on the map it only shows 20, and it's just like, no, that's a lie. And you try and, there's over 100, I reckon. Over 100 places, and just in Christchurch alone.
How are we choosing the fish and chip shops? Is it by referral? Are fish and chip shops actually contacting you to come try?
I've had one shop tell me to come in and they'll shout me a fee. More are welcome to. But at first we just try to do spots that I would usually hit anyway, like a lot of people said Big Garris in Aranui, popular spot. So I hit that, and then I've just keep getting messages every day to hit this spot, try this place, and even people requesting try the pork nibbles here or try the chicken nibbles there, or you should do burgers. And I'm just like, guys, let's just settle down. I've got to pay for all this food first. So. But yeah, people are requesting, and we're trying to go to those places. Yeah, but the problem is, people request Belfast, and then they request Riccarton, and then they request Aranui or New Brighton. I try and just stick to one area. Okay. So if I go to one request place in Linwood, I'll try and do a few spots around Linwood. Just cuts the travel down.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. And is it marked on fish and chips? I mean, one fish, one scoop.
That's it. That's the order. Just go on one fish, one scoop, and it's just the plain fish, not the hoki or the blue cod. You know, the $5 fish. It's the $3 standard fish that everyone gets, and just mark it on out of 7.
Okay, so it's out of 7. Yep. Why is it out of 7? Yeah. What's the criteria? Yeah. What are you looking for? Walk us through that.
We had heaps before the first review. We had heaps of arguments about, is it out of 10? Is it out of 5? Is it out? So we figured just do it out of 7. It's a bit of a point of difference. Everyone does 10. Everyone does 5. And I've had heaps of questions. Why is it out of 7? Can you explain? So I'll explain it. I look at the texture of fish, if it's dry, if it's flaky or moist, if it's floppy, if it's stiff. So the quality of fish, if the batter to fish ratio is good. Sometimes I smell it just to get the feel of it. Yeah. The chips, if they're crunchy, if they're fluffy, if both fish and chips are burnt or overcooked or too salty. And if the whole vibe at the shop is good.
So
So just experience. I've only been to one store that wasn't really interested in the whole thing, but every other store is happy to tell me their story. I think today we were at Stanmore Road, and just the stories they tell me is crazy. They've been around since 2007, had to shut shop because of the earthquakes, closed for 2 years, got the insurance payout, decided to open up again. It's just all these little things that you never ever think of asking the fish and chip place, and they all have a story, which is pretty cool to ask.
It's because there's so many of them, you just think they're just always there. They're just always going to be there.
That's it.
Has there been a standout shop for you?
Yeah, Gins, Hampshire Street, standard fish, standard chips.
Gins.
Yeah, Gins. So Hampshire, people usually know about Pete's fish and chip shop. Yeah. So Gins is just maybe 3 shops next door to it. Yeah. They weren't originally there, but the earthquake, their building knocked down, they had to move there. So their fish and chip has had the highest mark. I think they got a 6.1. So no one's had a 7 in Christchurch yet. Still looking for that perfect 7. But yeah, they've been the best.
What would give you a 7? Would it be you eat it and it takes you back to your childhood memories or something?
Yeah, like Ratatouille when the guy takes the food out of the bowl. Just like explosion of colours and taste. But that's probably what I'm looking for. I always think, can the standard fish be like the $7, $8 fish, the hoki and the blue cod? I think it can. We just got to find the right place.
Yeah. Is there? What about you took us through the fish? What about the chips themselves?
So chips, if they're crunchy, the best chips I've had is in Waikola, at Hornby. They were just crunchy and fluffy inside. It's hard to, I don't really know the type of chips, like type of potato they use. I haven't gone into that detail, but if they are crunchy and fluffy, not soggy, not overburnt, not too salty.
If you had, that shop that you gave 6.1, if you comboed any of the shops, would it get a 7?
Probably. I think I've had conversations before. The place in Waikola who had the best chips, and then everyone's commenting saying, you should get the chips from that place, and then 4 shops down, get the fish from the other place, combine those, and that's a 7.
Like you said, Waikola, that's exactly what I used to do.
Yeah.
When I was back at living at Mum and Dad's all those years ago, I would go and get chips from that exact store, and I'd go to the fish chip shop, a couple shops down, and I'd get their fish.
Oh, that's so interesting. They win it on the chips, but not the fish.
And I think a lot of people do that, especially if the fish shops are close.
Yeah. What's funny is like getting my fish and then going to the fish chip shop and just sitting there with like my fish, like knowing that I've only ordered chips. So they're like, oh, like what's wrong with our fish?
I feel it more weird just ordering the fish without the chips.
Yeah.
Just take a fish, please. Yeah.
They're like, no chips.
Yeah.
Nah, what's wrong with you?
Well, other than your, so you want to do 100 stores, is there any other kind of goals goals you want to set for your little platform here now?
Well, the goals have already been exceeded. Like, get a T-shirt, promote it online, do at least 10 reviews, and have people watching it. Like that, those goals are all smashed. So I think now it's just I'll try and get to that milestone, maybe 50, then 100, and see if I can still handle this side job. But yeah, the goal is just to really expand outside of Christchurch. If my wife will let me, travel to all these cool places that you hear of, these great, amazing fish and chip shops. Because I'm not the only person that's done this. There's so many reviewers of fish and chips, but they usually blog, or they usually write articles about it. I don't see many doing video content like this, which is exciting. It's cool to try this platform out, but I just love to expand. So maybe 100 in Christchurch or in the Canterbury region, and then expand out to down south, up north.
How many fish and chip shops have you reviewed so far?
I think we are at 15. So we started 1st of Jan, basically. So since the 1st of Jan to now, I think it's about 15 reviews.
15 reviews, cool.
And so you have fish and chips, right, like every day. Do you go home and your wife's like, I made dinner, and you're like, nah, thanks. I've had fish and chips. How does that work? Do you review it? Do you eat the whole fish, or what happens? Does it get thrown away?
Yeah, no, I don't eat. What you see on camera is the only amount I eat. Like, I'll eat a couple of chips and a bite of the fish. My boy will try and eat all of it. I have to tell him to calm down. Mum will get angry if I don't eat dinner. Otherwise, we give it out. Hey, like today, Dave, he said, oh, we should give fish and chips to the homeless couple that are down there. I was like, okay, reviewed it, asked them if they wanted it, they took it. Other than that, we've given it to families that's just gone by. Hey, you guys want some fish and chips? It's still fresh. I've just videoed it. But yeah, I don't eat the whole thing. I don't think I'll last.
I was going to say, if you're eating 100 fish this year and 100 scoops of chips, have you planned for like training?
Yeah. Shout out to CrossFit Rolleston. They keep me in shape. I need to be consistent in going. Like if I'm doing reviews, I definitely need to hit that place at night. But yeah, CrossFit is keeping me on the straight and narrow in terms of balance.
Because when I heard that you were doing these reviews, I was like, yo, and then I thought of, have you seen that guy on YouTube, Man vs Food?
Yeah.
And then if you watch Man vs Food from his very first episode, he was like skinny. And then you go like 3-4 seasons in, like he's huge. Like, I'm like, is this Alby? Like, is this where he's going towards?
I hope not. But that's why I've got to keep the balance. I'll still play rugby this year. And shout out to Rolleston Rugby Club and New Brighton Rugby Club, my own OG rugby club. 100 years this year. 100 years.
Rolleston and New Brighton are quite far apart.
They are two opposite ends, but we made the move to Rolleston, so we're with Rolleston because they're the same colour as New Brighton, black and yellow. But yeah, just trying to keep fit as fit as I can. Luckily, my wife loves CrossFit and she pushes me to go most days.
Excellent. Last but not least, for our listeners who haven't heard of the One Fish, 1Scoop, how can they basically see your content?
Basically, facebook.com/1fish1scoop. If you hit there first, the link to the YouTube and the IG account are all there. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. It's just a bit, like I said, it's just a bit of fun. A bit of banter. I mean, I had to work hard on my banter because I get straight into the review. Okay, 5.2, let's go. Director saying, slow down, banter, you know, enjoy yourself. So yeah, if you want to see some of the content, One Fish, 1Scoop.
Yeah. I've got one final question. I don't know if you can answer this, but like, what shop should we stay away from? No, that's true.
Yeah. I have found it hard to be real critical because the whole thing is also to promote small businesses.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are trying to make a living. I don't want to be the guy that's going in, these guys are crap, don't ever go to them.
Yeah.
But the word, like, I won't say we're shot, but I found the closer to the beach I've got in Christchurch, the worse it's got.
Oh.
So that's why the West have the best chips. Because they're so far from the beach.
It's weird, because you think beach,
Yeah.
fish, you know, but no, it hasn't been the freshest or the best.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say about that. Yeah.
I might just have to PM you. Like, yo, is this fish and chip shop walkers?
Yeah.
We'll check the reviews page.
Yeah, check some reviews.
All right. Well, Alby, thank you so much for coming into the studio today to talk about the awesome venture that you're doing with us. I know we're going to keep tabs. Might actually join you for one of your reviews. That'd be nice.
Love to. I was hoping to bring some fish and chips in today to do
Review
it.
it,
That
yeah.
was to review it for your listeners. But they probably would have just heard the paper in your microphone. But yeah, definitely. Join me next time and we can do a review at your local home.
Next time I'm hungry, I'll just chill. Are you doing a review? I'll just come and eat the rest of your food.
Also, a shout out to cameraman Dave sitting in the corner,
The man.
Shut David.
getting all the footage. Right. Thank you very much, Alby. Have
Thanks,
an
brothers.
awesome 2021.
Awesome. Thank you.